Good afternoon and welcome to action in the 2025 CFU Club Shield Tournament. Day 2 from the Larry Gomes Stadium here in Malabar Arima, East Trinidad and Tobago to be exact. We are getting ready for the day's first kickoff, and that's happening in Group C, a clash between SV Transvaal out of Suriname taking on the British Virgin Islands side, Wolues FC. That is our first kickoff on this day 2 of the CFU Club Shield Tournament. Kickoff at 2 p.m. here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. This competition is powered or brought to you by the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, which is the host association for the entire CFU Club Shield Tournament, and all of our venues. The internet is powered by Flow. Next up, the 2025 CFU Under 14 Challenge Series for girls, and that's happening from August 15th to the 24th. We'll take a quick break and return with more build-up to game number 1 here on day 2 of the CFU Club Shield. It's SV Transvaal from Suriname taking on Wolues FC of the British Virgin Islands.
It's not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it. Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power of football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else we'd rather do.
Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game.
Por el amor.
Pour l'amour.
I'd leave the vote.
For the love of the beautiful game.
Welcome back to the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, where we are just moments away from kickoff in match number 1. Transvaal, SV Transvaal taking on Wolues FC. And here are the lineups, starting with the SV Transvaal team. In goal, number 1, Paulo Santos. And they will be defended by number 19, Donovan Relum, and number 4, Giorgio Boy. At the left back position, Keratsana. At right back, Johan Lisa. In the midfield, Serginho Edward, number 14. Number 13, Artist Enrico. And number 6, Jardel Williams. And up top, a front 3 being deployed with the point man, Finidi Misejan in number 32. The captain is Dimitri Apai, number 17. And along the right side, Lalani Toy. Starting lineup for Wolues FC. In goal, James Baird, number 1. Number 6, Ciaran Johnston. Number 8, Ty Thomas. Number 5, Colin Edwards. Number 19, Michael Palladino. Number 15, Alejandro Santos. That forms a 5-man backline. The midfield will be anchored by number 4, the captain, Philip Nelson. And just ahead of him, Abner Guevara, number 20, and number 11, Rush Broderick. Sebastian Santos is in the number 10 position, but he wears number 7. And up front, their top goal scorer over the last 2 seasons, Hugo Liziario. That's the lineup for Wolues FC. They are decked in that maroon strip, and they'll be attacking from right to left. SV Transvaal, they're decked in white, and they will kick from left to right in this first half of match number 1 in Group C in the 2025 CFU Club Shield. Let's tell you a bit about these clubs, starting with the team that was just on screen, SV Transvaal, one of the oldest teams out of Suriname, 104 years old, founded in January of 1921. And of course, they would have been the recent winners of the domestic league there. They currently sit at the top of the table in the ongoing season with 10 wins, 4 draws, and 1 defeat. Just 1 defeat out of their 15 games played so far. So they're coming into this tournament with a great deal of form. Wolues FC is a much younger outfit. They were founded in 2003. And of course, they boast the second top scorer in the league, 2024-2025, Kieran Brown. He scored 20 goals and also comes into this tournament in form. Hugo Lizario, the man that we told you about earlier though, he has 40 goals over the last 2 seasons, 25 in the 2023-2024 season, and a further 15 this season. So he'll be the main man up top for them. And of course, look out for him. He's wearing the number 10 shirt. And in just a few moments, we'll get proceedings started here at the Larry Gomes Stadium. Both of these teams see advancing through to the knockout round and even into the final as the main priority. Although the Wolues outfit will be honest and frank enough to let you know that it is certainly a long shot for them. They are more focused on certainly exposing their players to this level of competition. They have a really mixed bunch of players hailing from all parts of the globe. Of course, the British Virgin Islands, territory of Britain. And as such, you'll see a number of players hailing from Ireland, including, and even Scotland, including the number 1, James Baird. As mentioned, James Baird actually resides in Trinidad and Tobago. He's done so for the past 15 years. And during that time, he's represented a few clubs locally, so he's well versed and certainly well intimate with the terrain here at the Larry Gomes Stadium. He would have played for Tobago United, Northeast Stars, and Central FC as recently as 2016. These days, he's donned his coaching cap and is actually the head coach of the British Virgin Islands senior women's football team. However, at this juncture, he's been called upon for his vast expertise. Also, he's played even in the USA, so he's in goal, bringing some leadership and certainly bringing experience to this Wolues FC team, which has the kickoff in today's first fixture here at the Larry Gomes Stadium. So there we have it, kickoff, and immediately they're launching this one forward. Wolues FC, hoping to find Sebastian Santos, who will play in that supporting role behind Liziario. A real family connection and a family feel to this Wolues side. Sebastian Santos is a son, and the team's manager, Jose Santos, is also his dad. So Alejandro Santos, who is also in the lineup, the starting lineup, at the right back position wearing the number 15, is also a sibling to Jose, rather the son of Jose and sibling to Sebastian. Michael Palladino, who's wearing the number 19 shirt in the center of defense, is also coached today by the head coach, and his dad, Alessandro Palladino. So the family matters here in this Wolues FC team, as we see a defensive clearance, but here come Transvaal. One player remains down after a headed clearance. The referee may eventually stop play, instead allows it to carry on. And this is safely back at the feet of Transvaal number 1, Paulo Santos. Here they come again with Johan Lisa. And they are trying to make some headway along the left. A cross is coming in, but it's charged down. Again, keep an eye out for the number 17 who gets that flicked on header for SV Transvaal. That's Dimitri Apai, Surinamese international, and a man who spent 7 years in the local leagues here in Trinidad and Tobago, playing with one of the top clubs, W Connection. W Connection, no stranger to competition at the highest echelons of the CFU as well as CONCACAF. The Savanetta boys, of course, would have won the CFU Club Championship no fewer than 3 times, and they were actually runners-up 5 times. Most recently, 2015. That would have been 1 year before Apai actually joined W Connection. And he was a winner of that competition 2015. A 2-time Surinamese Footballer of the Year, 2016 and 2017. And so far, just a few involvements. It's been all Transvaal pretty much in the opening exchanges, as they have the game's first corner kick. Jardel Williams heads over to orchestrate something. 5 players to aim at. It almost comes all the way through before it's thumped high into the Arima sky for a throw in to Transvaal. Here they are now. This is Sana on the overlap. Good looking ball, heads up. And again, under constant pressure so far, Wolues FC. This is Apai. And that's a free kick won by Artist Enrico. The flashy number 30 for Transvaal with the blonde hair and fuchsia pink boots. Just going down under a challenge there from Abner Guevara. He tried to plead his innocence, but referee Johan Chebriant of Guadeloupe vigilant. He's awarded a free kick now to Transvaal. It's a bit of a conference involving Philip Nelson. And that's a great attempt. Just narrowly misses that fast stick. Baird in goal was cemented to his position. As we have a look, that was Lalani Toy with a curling free kick. Just inches away. It wouldn't have been much James Baird could have done had that been on target. But luckily for him, it's the right side of the upright and allows Wolues to try to launch an attack. It's quickly stamped out. This is Toy now trying to turn it around the corner to Finidi Misijan. And then quickly stifled there by Enrico for a throw into Wolues FC. It's the first time competing at a regional level for Wolues, aside from the British Virgin Islands. And so far so good for them. Just coming up on 8 minutes played. But Transvaal would be encouraged by what they've seen so far. Corner kick, free kick, and a narrow miss from a free kick by Lalani Toy just moments ago. That could have broken the deadlock. Here they come again. This is a ball looking towards Misijan. Baird misjudges it. And luckily for him, he had the assistance of Alejandro Santos to effect the clearance. A long, a deep searching ball played from the midfield, searching for Misijan. James Baird with a terrible miscalculation. Fortunate to have the cover of his right wing back, Alejandro Santos. So the corner comes in now. It's onto a Wolues head. And this could be a shot coming in, and it is. And again, just taking a deflection that left James Baird with not much knowledge about where it was heading. Another look. And just misses. In the meantime, a quickly taken SV Transvaal corner kick directed toward Johan Lisa, but he slipped up, and now they regain possession and try to construct something here. This is Lisa. Poor touch on his path, turns possession over. Another raking pass. This is a brilliant ball to Toy, but he's offside. And the referee's assistance flag confirms. Clyde Cadet well in line with the play. 10 minutes played so far. Goalless between SV Transvaal in white and Wolues FC in maroon. Wolues free kick now. This is aimed at Alejandro Santos. Still kept alive. One back now by Transvaal. This is Toy. Trying to clip it over the top for his captain Apai, but directionally inaccurate. Throw in again to Transvaal. They up to reset. Driving them on now. Before checking up is the number 19 shirt of Donovan Relum. This is another raking diagonal ball to pick out Kiritsana. So Wolues quite prepared to get stuck in. And really, that was an unforced error on the path of Transvaal. Lisa again let down by his first touch. Concedes a throw-in. Oh, good skill. How calm was that by Relum? This is Toy now. He keeps it in a very tight space. Gets it inward, and then the return pass from Misejan just overhit and running out of play for another throw into Wolues. It's a long throw in aimed at Hugo Liziario. He's claiming that there was some pushing happening illegally, but he'll only get another throw in. Wolues taking charge of it. Ty Thomas. Two ahead of him, including Sebastian Santos rather. And it's well defended again by Lisa. But they inch forward. Wolues. Ty Thomas now changes his angle, and he's going to attempt to spare this one directly into the 18-yard. It's a long looping one, and trying to get onto the end of it was Rush Broderick before the collection made by Paulo Santos, and he launches SV Transvaal upfield. This is a pie, and he has support, but he'd gone offside. A pie signaled now by assistant referee Clyde Cadet on this near side. So free kick to Wolues. SV Transvaal, one of the top domestic sides in Suriname. Robin Hood, the other team that comes to mind, a perennial CFU participant. And pretty much part of a 1-2 of Suriname top clubs. This is a good ball to Artist. Plays it out wide to Apai, who had to do some work to reel it in, but he does so. And this is Toy now on the turn, trying to find the extra pass. Jardel Williams is closed down, and it's all the way back now for Transvaal. Here's Serginho Edward. Lisa. Williams. Good 1-2. Can he get the final product in? Just didn't wrap his boot around it that time, Lisa. But promising signs continue to make themselves available for SV Transvaal. The team that has won the Surinamese top division a total of 19 times. The second most in that country's history. Behind, of course, Robin Hood. Here comes Wolues. Well defended by Enrico. Artist. Interesting name. And with a name like that, he certainly backs it up in appearance. Artist Enrico. The blonde hair and flashy pink boots. Certainly does look like an artist. Can he paint a pretty picture as he dons in his equipment? As we have a look at this foul, Jardel Williams just clattering into the back of the Wolues player that time, and awarded a free kick by referee Chebriant of Guadeloupe. So this is a really a giveaway. SV Transvaal turn it the other way, coming forward now with Apai. He's closed down, and this one is just hoiked forward by the right boot of Colm Edwards for SV Transvaal, or rather for Wolues. Transvaal again. Here's Relum. Plays it out wide to Sana. Sana has Apai in support. He gets it now. This is Enrico. Apai goes all the way back to Giorgio Boy, who allows Enrico to take it off of his toes. This is a ball into the pocket to Apai, linking with Williams. Still alive. But here comes Wolues to get it away, and this could be a counter-attack. Sebastian Santos with the back heel now to his brother Alejandro, who's looking to spread it all the way to the other side. Calm defending by Transvaal. Here's Apai. Apai has a chase on. Can't quite reel it in. Goal kick now to Wolues. Sweltering heat here at the Atterbolden Stadium, just like yesterday. So expect to see that cooling break coming up in just about 4 minutes, which will mark the midway point of this first half here at the Larry Gomes Stadium. Group C action in the CFU Club Shield. SV Transvaal out of Suriname taking on British Virgin Islands side Wolues. Here comes Wolues now, but straying into an offside position is Liziario. Jardel Williams into Mesijan. This is Enrico. Ahead of him is Apai. This is Lisa making the overlap. Can he deliver a good-looking ball across? But it's cleared away by the Wolues defense. They'll have some more defending to do. This is Lisa getting the better of Alejandro Santos, who makes a sliding recovery. So one more look at that latest opportunity. Good build-up, and Lisa with the low cross. It's slid away by Ty Thomas. Play has resumed here after the corner kick. SV Transvaal committing numbers forward. With the exception of their goalkeeper, 10 of their players are in the Wolues half. Such is their commitment to the opening goal of this Day 2's first encounter. This is William just scurrying and fighting a good-looking ball. Apai, though, seemed to be surprised by its arrival, but not so James Baird, who collects for Wolues and now tries to set them forward. This is finding Liziario, who puts his hand up in apology for not being able to control. Williams, and around the back door is Toy. Final touch comes off of him, and it's going to be another goal kick to Wolues. 21 minutes played. Still no goals. Quite a few players hunched over, including Colm Edwards for Wolues. Earlier, he was left grounded for a bit after a headed clearance. So he's perhaps still suffering the effects of that. Williams, this is Toy. He's switched positions with Apai, who's come more central now. This is Misijan, can't control it, but they have the opportunity to spring something again. This is Apai. Enrico to Lisa. Continues his run, but Lisa instead checks back. This is Relum. Relum gets it across to Boy. Boy will line one up from way downtown. Again, lacking direction. Did have the power though. So perhaps indication that the Wolues FC front line would have to apply a much more proactive press and not allow Giorgio Boy to find his range. Does seem to pack a punch, so to speak, although that time unable to find the target. Here he is, Boy. Gets this one out to Sana. Sana now to Edward. Edward has Enrico to his right, who gets it now. He's thinking about trying to thread it for Lisa. Lisa gets it now though. Attempts to play a 1-2 with Misijan, but they lose out, and here they come now. Wolues. This is a good exchange. Alejandro Santos making the run is his brother. Can he get away from the attentions of Relum? He does so, and it's back now to Rush Broderick, who opts to go all the way back to Edwards. Edwards playing it through the channel for Broderick, and he commits a needless foul deep into SV Transvaal territory. Happy to invite the contact that time was Sana for the free kick. Approaching the end of the 24th minute. Still no goals. SV Transvaal though trying to make all their possession and neat interchange in and around the Wolues penalty area count. This is Apai trying to get onto the end of a through ball from Serginho Edward, but it slid away for a corner kick. Transvaal. So we're past the midway stage in this first half. No cooling break just yet. Perhaps referee Chabriand has it in the back of his mind. His fourth official stands by, perhaps trying to signal to him that it may be time to allow these players a bit of respite from this 2 p.m. heat. Instead, only a free kick is conceded. Another transgression on the part of the Wolues defender. That time was Alejandro Santos. And as we saw earlier, Giorgio Boy not shy to have a crack. The Transvaal defender will whip this one in on his left foot, and it's over the head of James Baird. So we saw earlier indication that he likes to have a shy from distance with that magic wand of a left boot, it seems. And that time whipped it in over the head of James Baird in goal for Wolues. He took a step forward, perhaps anticipating a cross. And before he knew it, the ball was sailing over his head and in for the game's opening goal that gives SV Transvaal the lead. We'll have the cooling break now, signaled by referee Chabriand, as the teams come to the touchline. So too do the officials for some much welcomed refreshment. It's been a quite eventful first half so far. SV Transvaal bossing proceedings. And finally able to get the goal to reward them for their good play. As we see one of the players there, that's Broderick Rush with the ice pack placed on his neck. It's not the coolest of conditions here at the Larry Gomes Stadium. As we saw yesterday, there is a gentle breeze blowing across the ground. But that certainly is little compensation for the type of sunshine and heat that is being experienced down on the pitch. Not too many clouds about. Some of them are darkish gray, indicating that there might be some moisture. But until it actually precipitates, it only lends to the humidity. And that is evidenced by how grateful these players have been for the midway cooling break in this first half here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. So things just about to resume. Let's remind you of how SV Transvaal was able to take the lead. A free kick goal scored by Serginho Boyd in the 27th minute. And it gives Transvaal a 1-0 lead. Here they come again looking for more. This is Toy trying to pick the run of Apai. It's still alive. This is Lisa. Apai, though, was in an offside position, and he did somewhat make a move toward the ball. And so that infringement is picked up by the assistant referee on this near side, Clyde Cadet. Lelani Toy drops all the way back and then just gives it away. He didn't see that Sana had taken off on an overlap and wanted the ball played forward. Instead, Lelani Toy was under the impression that the left fullback was behind him, and so concedes a throw-in to Wolues. It's a long throw-in into the box. There's Lizario underneath it, and he was able to get the flicked-on header on target. However, easy save in the end for Paulo Santos in goal for Transvaal.
Ladies and gentlemen, goal for SV Transvaal, number 4, Giorgio Boyd.
Here's Apai on the chase. He's all alone, but it just held up on him and allowed the Wolues defender to make the interception. But Apai was certainly through on goal that time. The bounce just not favorable enough to allow him to get a shot off. Transvaal again now. This is Relam with a impressive leap. The ball comes all the way through to Alejandro Santos, and he's just poking it away for a throw-in under pressure from artist Enrico. Relam, he likes to put his foot through it as well. That time picking out Messijan. He goes down under the challenge, but no foul, says referee Chebriant. This now is Sana. Sana with the shot, and is charged down by Broderick. Gets it back, Kirit Sana. He'll try again to go past his man. Does so, and his low cross drilled in is turned away. And now grateful to have a goal kick. Instead, referee Chebriand instructs it to be a corner kick for SV Transvaal. Vociferous protest from the Wolues 11 out on the pitch, as well as those in the dugout, as Jardel Williams swings this one in, and there's Toy underneath it. He did get a touch, but unable to direct it goalward. And so, goal kick for Wolues. James Baird to get things going again. Flicked on by Liziario. Given away by Apai. Liziario, however, just unable to connect with Sebastian Santos. And now Transvaal swing it around to the left-hand side. This is Misijan. He's gone out there now, trying to cut in. Runs into some trouble and then slips, but is still able to get this one back to Edward. This is Enrico now. Lisa on the right side of the area. Breezes past his man and gets the cross in. Some chaotic scenes here, and then headed away for a corner kick to SV Transvaal. Deep in his own territory that time was Michael Palladino. And now corner kick. Swung in again by Williams. Misijan tries to get on the end of it. This is Enrico. He'll think about the shot. Ups instead to go to Lisa, who does have a crack. Charge down. It's now with Relam. Swings another good ball in and onto the head of Misijan. Finidi Misijan with a powerful header, but straight down the throat of James Baird for a routine save. So Transvaal searching for insurance after taking the lead in the 26th minute. This is Lisa to Relam. Relam now to Edward. Further left of him is Sana. Threads the needle now. Sana gets it across. Sails onto the top of the net. So they're finding joy along the flanks, SV Transvaal. Sana on that left-hand side, overlapping to create effect. And on this right side, quite a few times, the right fullback, Lisa, has also gone forward. But still, that final delivery is where they've been let down. This is Relam for Transvaal. He has Edward in field. Edward forward now to Toy, Lalani Toy. Toy crosses this one in and it's flashing across goal. But again, Apai just unable to hold his run. And he had strayed offside well before the ball eventually ricocheted off his thigh and fell for Misijan. As we look again, Toy flashing that ball across. Yeah, Apai had gone too early. And so offside rightfully adjudicated to let Wolues off the hook another time. Still just 1-0, the lead by SV Transvaal. Here they are defending. Relam, composed figure is he to get that one back to his goalkeeper, Santos. And they come forward now again. This is Lisa. Lisa just skips past Alejandro Santos. Plays this one into Williams. Another good exchange and another good ball. Dangerous. But Wolues do manage to have it cleared. But recovering from an offside position was Sebastian Santos, allowing Transvaal to start another attack. This is Lisa cutting inside. Just without real purpose, gives that one away. Wolues now looking for a foul, and they do get the decision of referee Chebrion after Sebastian Santos went down in a heap. "37 minutes gone." We're into minute 38 here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in game number 1 on day 2 of the CFU Club Championship. A Group C encounter which sees SV Transvaal of Suriname leading their British Virgin Islands opponents, Wolues FC, 1-0, a goal scored in the 26th minute by Transvaal defender Giorgio Boy, directly from a free kick. Later on today, 2 of Group C's other teams will come into action as All Saints United FC of Antigua will clash with SCSA Eagles of St. Martin. Meanwhile, more action here. Another chance for Transvaal. Handball is the appeal as Apai tried to get that ball across. Referee Chebrion says no handball. His assistant, Clyde Cadet, agreed. This is it from a better angle as we see Apai on the charge. And as he played it across, the arm did go up and it seemed to strike the arm of Kieran Johnston. So he is certainly relieved that referee Chebrion didn't seem to spot it, nor did his assistant on the near side, Clyde Cadet. But they'll come again, Transvaal. This is Johnston, the man who was given that let-off. But he gives it right back to Transvaal, and this is Giorgio Boy to Relum. Ahead of him, he has Lisa Williams and Edward. Lisa gets it now, plays it infield to Enrico. Enrico with some space to move into. Plays this one to Toy, but he can't bring it down. And now they charge away with it. Wolues, that's Broderick. Uses the support. But they just give it right back. This is Edward. Clips this one over, looking for the run of Apai again. It's well defended by Johnston. And now here comes Alejandro Santos. Plays it to Liziario. And he's going for the return is Santos, but Lissa picks it up and gets it back to goalkeeper Santos. This is a decent ball to Apai. And he plays this one inside to Toy. Toy retrieves it now and tries to cheekily chip it over Baird. We've seen that to be a weak point of the Wolues shot stopper. Quite a few times the ball has either bounced over his head before being cleared away, or as in the case of the goal, fizzed over his head by Giorgio Boy in the 26th minute. Transvaal still in possession. This is Williams. Whips a nice looking cross in, met by the head of Edward, but he can't keep it down. Still 0-0 with just about 4 minutes, or rather 1-0 in favor of Transvaal with just about 4 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half. They'll resume with another goal kick, Wolues. As Johnston instructs his fellow defenders to surge forward. This is flicked on by Broderick and cleared away to Toy. Toy comes inside. He has Enrico in support. He can't quite control it. This is Misijan, gets it back to Williams. Williams will have a strike. Ricochet to Apai. Williams gets it back on Apai again. Can this be the second item? Just perhaps guilty of overplaying. Maybe Apai should have been thinking about an attempt on goal himself. He tried to unselfishly play it across the face, but no white shirt was able to latch on. This is a long throw in, and it comes through to Lisa. Lisa skips by one, skips by two, and cuts it back. Again, it seemed to surprise. That was Apai. Still in play. Lisa. Good exchange again, and another arm goes up. This one was outside of the area. And the guilty man was the Wolues captain, Philip Nelson. A 1-2 exchange between Lisa and Apai, and just as Lisa was trying to give his man the slip, Philip Nelson, he raised his arm up. He's fortunate to escape any further reprimand from referee Chebrion, as that certainly looked like a deliberate handball. And usually these days, that would certainly require the distribution of a yellow card. No harm, no foul, and Boy will have another try, this time again trying to go over the head of Baird, and he does so successfully, but it's cleared off the line by, it looked like Johnston, who remains down. This angle will confirm. And in the modern game, again, the referees are very vigilant for any head injuries, as they could be the cause of concussion. So concussion protocols usually instituted. This time, though, none given, and so play resumes. Transvaal will come again. This is Relum along the left. Good looking ball again, and Apai is under it, and again seemed to be surprised by the arrival of a very, very enticing cross from the boot of Donovan Relum. So just at the end of regulation time in this first period, Apai with the opportunity to give his team a more comfortable lead, unable to do so. And so Wolues still, for all intents and purposes, in with a chance, trailing just 1-0. Here come Transvaal again. Enrico just trying to reverse it, but it's cut out, and this is Rush Broderick for Wolues. Alejandro Santos tries to win something out of it, as we see the fourth official puts up 4 minutes of added on time to end the first period. 4 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. So it's 4 minutes more for Wolues to try to survive with just a 1-0 deficit, and 4 minutes more for Transvaal to add to their 1-goal lead. That time, Toy, or was it Boy, coming in, met it with his head, but unable to get it goalward before it ran out of touch for a Wolues goal kick. Leilani Toy picks up the goal kick from Wolues and charges down the left side. Gives Michael Palladino some work to do. But the defender sticks to his duties and eventually stops the burgeoning attack. Throw in though for Transvaal. Sent in by Sana. Still alive. Enrico goes down. Signal to get back to his feet by referee Chebriand. And this is Lisa. Lisa, he loves to build up ahead of steam. And that time just runs out of real estate. And so it's a goal kick to Wolues. So about 3 minutes of the 4 additional have gone. Not much time for either team to further affect the scoreline. Wolues goalkeeper James Baird will take his time before booting this one back into play. It's flicked on by Liziario. Santos now. Sebastian Santos to his brother Alejandro. Alejandro tries to get past Lisa, who defends it. And now this is Johnston. He'll boot it clear. Anywhere will do. I suspect these Wolues players are eager to get back to the locker room for a chance to regroup at halftime. And there is the referee's whistle to signal the end of first half play in this Group C encounter of the CFU Club Shield. Halftime score, SV Transvaal 1. Wolues FC of the British Virgin Islands 0.
It's not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it. Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power of football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else we'd rather do.
Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game.
Por el amor.
Pour l'amour.
I'd leave the war.
For the love of the beautiful game.
Protection that moves to your beat. Protect your home with Armor Security. With 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, motion sensors, and rapid response, you and your loved ones stay protected day and night. Sign up for the Protector or Commander package today and get a free security camera and installation. Armor Security, powered by Flow, in partnership with All Pro Security. We keep your rhythm flowing. Visit us in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Welcome back to the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, East Trinidad and Tobago. Action in Group C on day 2 of the Caribbean Football Union's Club Shield tournament. It is halftime between SV Transvaal of Suriname and out of the British Virgin Islands Wolues FC. Transvaal with a 1-0 lead. Remember, the CFU Club Shield is being hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, and of course the internet at all 3 venues in Trinidad is being powered by Flow. Up next is the 2025 CFU Under 14 Challenge Series Girls, and that's next month, in the month of August, from the 15th to the 24th, right here in Trinidad. The CFU Club Shield is organized by the Caribbean Football Union, which is the umbrella organization for the 31 member associations in the English, Dutch, French, and Spanish-speaking Caribbean. Just moments away from second half kickoff in this one, as we see the teams returning to center field, led by the officials. Quite eventful first half, as SV Transvaal was able to impose itself on the lesser experienced Wolues FC side. Transvaal, of course, celebrating 104 years of existence, a club that was founded in 1921 in Suriname, as opposed to Wolues FC, which only came into existence in 2003. As a matter of fact, this is the first time that the club from the British Virgin Islands is participating in competition at this level. And while they have expressed that winning this tournament will be an incredible achievement, they remain realistic that given the size of their country and its football population, winning will be difficult, but exposing their players to this level of competition is certainly vital. For the Transvaal team, much more accustomed to representation at this level of play in the Caribbean. They were the CONCACAF champions actually in 1973 and 1981, and finished as runners-up in 74, 75, and 86. So their Caribbean and CONCACAF pedigree is certainly there to be seen. And this Club Shield tournament represents yet another competition to be conquered. Remember, the finalists here earn a spot in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, which also takes place next month. So we have second half kickoff now. SV Transvaal, they are now going from right to left, and they could be mounting the first attack of the second half. Mesijan just tries to poke it with the toe of his boot toward goal. In the end, an easy save for James Baird of Wolues. Wolues now trying to launch an attack of their own. This is Alejandro Santos. Gets it back to Liziario. Liziario now linking nicely, but that pass was just left behind him by Sebastian Santos, and it allows Transvaal to come again. This is Apai to Enrico, and the outside of him is Sana arriving now to join the attack. Sana well watched by Rush Broderick. Edward to Relum. Relum thinks about having a strike, instead just Takes this one outside to Lisa. Gets it back now, Relam, and he goes down under a challenge for Wolues. So Transvaal, SV Transvaal with just a 1-goal advantage, but they'll be certainly looking to add to that. That could come here. This is Lalani Toy flashes a shot across goal. Baird had his angles covered. So it's evident that they are trying to add to their scoreline as early as possible in this second half. SV Transvaal. Transy, as they are belovedly called in their homeland of Suriname. And of course, because of that Dutch heritage and Dutch connection, quite a few of their players have actually played in the Netherlands. Here they come again. This is Apai. Apai gets this one out to Sana, and again just unable to deliver. They've been pretty comfortable in this match so far, but if I were to pinpoint one area for some scrutiny, it would definitely be in that final ball, SV Transvaal. Quite a few times the final cross has either been wayward or charged down. And a few more times, the intended targets seem to be on their heels rather than on their toes. So it's led to quite a few missed opportunities, half chances and chances. And that's why they only lead 1-0. This is Edward now, plays it to Jardel Williams, the Jamaican. Gets it back now, Edward from Williams. And then this is Edward trying to follow up before another timely intervention by Colm Edwards. Or rather, that was Kieran Johnson. The corner kick taken quickly. This is Jardel Williams trying to chip it into Messijan. Tries the spectacular. And in the end, just whacks at it. This is Santos for Transvaal. Way out of his goal mouth area to get the attack going again. This is Sana. Sana gets past Broderick. And a good looking cross again. And once more repelled by Kieran Johnston, the big Wolues central defender. Another corner kick though to Transvaal. This is Sana. Cleared by Sebastian Santos, only as far as Enrico, and he tried to leave it for the man who we know can strike them, Giorgio Boy. And reading from two different pages that time. And here come Transvaal again. Lisa skips past the challenge. Relam to Toy. And it's blocked out for another corner kick. So Transvaal laying it on thick. With quite a few promising attacks. This is Boy to whip one in, and it's charged down again. Sana allows it to go out for a corner. Williams wants it short, but Sana decides against and floats this one in onto the head of Misijan. Relam will retrieve. Relam plays it back out to Lisa. Lisa loses out to Sebastian Santos, but Enrico is there to clean up the loose ball. Santos now to Boy. Boy back out here to Sana. Sana has 3 inside the area waiting. And Williams in close support. Drifts inside. This is Enrico. Sana still in attendance. Tries to get it back to Edward. And again, another short pass, but it's cleaned up by Edward. Boy will take the opportunity to move into space ahead of him. Edward now has Sana. Can Sana deliver again? No. So patient in the build-up. Choosing their moments. SV Transvaal, but once again, no polish on that final product. Leaves them wanting. Goal kick now to Wolues. Looking for Sebastian Santos. Finds himself an inch or 2 lacking. Transvaal on the attack again. This is Relum driving them forward. Tries to place this one down the channel, and then the follow-up effort from Jardel Williams is miles above the crossbar. They'll go again, Wolues. This ball is all the way back to Santos via Relum. Boy. Ahead of him is Sana into position on this left-hand touchline. Instead, Edward slips in between the 2 Transvaal central defenders. Relum to Sana. Sana tries to lift it in. Baird will have some saving to do. An awkward attempt at keeping that one out, James Baird, but does the trick, much to the relief of the Wolues defense. And this will be yet another SV Transvaal corner kick. Wolues are arguing that they weren't ready for it, as Baird was down and remains down. Referee Chebrian comes to his rescue. Just seems to be a bit of cramp. As mentioned earlier, Baird, 42 years young now. And in chatting with the former TT Pro League player before kickoff in this one, he did remind me that he's 42 years young and still giving it a go in between the 6'4" Wolues. Seems as though the effects of a long journeyman career are kicking in, or beginning to kick in this match, as he comes in for some massage therapy. Just a reminder, 1-0 so far to SV Transvaal from Suriname. They lead over Wolues FC out of the British Virgin Islands. It could have been, and in frank terms, should have been already a larger scoreline for SV Transvaal. Still, though, they have roughly 30 minutes or so to add whatever they can to this 1-0 lead. So James Baird is back on his feet now. Thankfully. And play will resume momentarily as referee Chebrian now will deliver a drop ball for SV Transvaal. They were last in possession before the stoppage. And now is Enrico. Flicks this one in. Apai misses the initial header. And then it's scrambled away by the Wolues defense. Throw in to Transvaal. This is Enrico again to serve one in. Headed away. And it could be an attack, a counter-attack on for Wolues, but Broderick just doesn't have the legs to capitalize on the scarcity of Transvaal defenders before Boy cuts across to snuff out any danger. Here they come again, Transvaal. Edward to Boy. Boy to Enrico. Movement on the outside via Sana. He's not delivered the best crosses. Has he, Sana? You'll have another opportunity here. This time it's low and charged down by the first man before it's cleared out of touch for another throw-in. Referee Chebrian just dictates the correct coordinates for that throw-in. Edward now. Back to Sana. And he goes all the way back to Boy. 10 SV Transvaal players inside the Wolues half. Still, though, despite that numerical commitment, unable to bring it to bear. So play resumes. This is Rush Broderick. Just can't take advantage of a bit of a defensive mix-up there between the Transvaal players. And here he is now, though. Good recovery by Broderick. And then losing out is Liziario. Lisa, Enrico, into Toy, onto the chest of the big front man. And then the cross by Misijan. Repelled by Wolues. Another quick corner kick. This is Relam. Relam. Can he get the cross in? He does, but it's again just headed away. And there seems to be a bit of a scuffle between a couple of Wolues and Transvaal players. Dimitri Apai, the Transvaal captain, has a word with referee Chebrian. And he's now reprimanding both Apai and Colm Edwards, who was the offending party in maroon. Meantime, Transvaal seem to be readying a few substitutions at the hour mark. They have a corner kick here, and this is Edward with the final shot at goal into the grateful arms of James Baird. He travels now to the top of his penalty area and launches this one toward Sebastian Santos. Well judged by Boy. And now Transvaal tried to attack along the right. Cleared away again by Wolues. Throw into Transvaal, and they now swing it around to the left side. This is Sana onto the head of Toy, and again perhaps he had a bit more time to decide the best course of action before attempting the header, which trickles harmlessly out for a goal kick to Wolues. Edward. Twisting and turning. This is Enrico now. He'll take his defender for a run, which is Broderick. Checks that run now. Jardel Williams. Plays it into Toy. And he's trying to sneak up high in, but it's cleared away. Only as far as Relum though, and Enrico gets it back to Relum. Relum to Boy. Boy sizes this one up. Again, we know he likes to put his laces through it. That time, unable to keep the effort down. So this might redound to a bit of frustration for Transvaal as they resort to a long distance attempt before effecting 2 substitutions. Out is Dimitri Apai, and coming in, number 28, Alvaro Kizowerd. So Apai leaves without being able to mark his return to Trinidad and Tobago with a goal. And also out is Williams, and coming in to replace him, number 8, Dijon Kamzi. So double substitution by SV Transvaal. Here's Kizawerd on the charge immediately after introduction, but he's stopped in his tracks. Another chance goes a begging for SV Transvaal, so they are moving into the territory of desperation. Wolues, meanwhile, are in survival mode, trying to keep SV Transvaal at bay for as long as possible. Just about 25 minutes remaining. Transvaal will try to use that time to add to this 1-0 lead. And this is Kizerwood. Good work down the left. But the shot saved by Baird before a stoppage in play for some medical assistance to, is it Broderick for Wolues, who's down at just the midway mark between the goal line and the halfway line. And he is in obvious discomfort. (25, 24 and a half minutes or thereabouts remaining in play in this one. Still SV Transvaal, the 19-time Surinamese champions. And the 3-time CONCACAF Champions Cup, or rather 2-time CONCACAF Champions Cup winners. They've been frustrated by a resolute Wolues FC defense that's held them to just 1 goal so far. So it seems as though this will be the end of the road for Rush Broderick, the number 11 for Wolues FC. As he's lifted away now and visibly distraught that this is the way his debut at regional competition ends, or at least his first game. We hope to see him back as the tournament progresses. Certainly Wolues would love to have him back as well. They've made the substitution. Leaving the field once again, Rush Broderick. And in is number 9, Noel Maxwell. So Noel Maxwell comes in, and Rush Broderick is out. Maxwell, the number 9, strikes a odd resemblance to Adama Traore, the Spanish forward who plies his trade with Fulham in English football, in the ranks of English football. Meanwhile, here comes Transvaal again. This is Lisa. He has many targets, including Mesijan, who misses it before it comes to substitute Alvaro Kieserweerd. So they launched an attack along the right side as Relam picked the run of Lisa. And Lisa took his time to find the correct pass. Mesijan unable to get the decisive touch, but Kieserweerd well alert to deliver the game's second goal for an SV Transvaal 2-0 lead. And here they come again. Lisa just can't catch that one before it runs out of play. So at long last, the goal that should allow SV Transvaal to breathe a little bit easier finally arrives via the boot of substitute Alvaro Kieserweerd. He's only been on the field for 5 minutes or so before making his presence felt, delivering the cushion item, so to speak, for SV Transvaal. Here they come again through Kieserweerd. He's been urged to run at his man. Can't successfully do so. And it's a goal kick now to Wolues, who will have to wait before bringing it back into play as another substitution is being made by Transvaal. The player out is Finidi Mesijan, and coming in as his replacement, number 35, Shafelo Boyanski. And also leaving the field of play is Kirit Sana, to be replaced by number 11, Jamiro Heckbert. So another double substitution in this, the 71st minute, by SV Transvaal. Here they come now along that right side. Through one of the recent substitutes. That was Shafelo Boyanski winning the free kick. The latest free kick for SV Transvaal is in a similar position to that which brought the opening item of the goal of the game, and again it's going to be Giorgio Boy who scored that item, and he goes for goal again. This time he's rocking the crossbar. So Boy definitely favors himself from that sort of position. The third goal could still arrive as Transvaal are still on the attack. This is Kiza Weird, scorer of the second goal. Enrico. This is Boyansky. Boyansky trying to pick out Relam. Cleared away by Wolues. So Baird is down injured again. Earlier he received some treatment for what seemed to be cramps, and it could be the reason why he's restricted again. So Baird continues to receive treatment. As the players take the opportunity for the midway point cooling break. At this juncture, it's SV Transvaal with a 2-0 lead over their opponents, Wolues FC. And well on their way to 3 points in this one. So if you're just joining, this is what has transpired so far at the Larry Gomes Stadium. Second half action between SV Transvaal and Wolues FC, as there's been a stoppage for treatment to Wolues goalkeeper James Baird. Transvaal came out in the second half intent on trying to build on their 1-0 advantage, which was delivered by Giorgio Boy in the first half. A goal scored in the 26th minute. They introduced Alvaro Kieserweerd, whose first real contribution came via that shot, which was comfortably saved by James Baird. But moments later, in the 69th minute, this ball across from Johan Lisa was met by Kieserweerd to deliver the second goal. And then that effort by Giorgio Boy striking the crossbar. So back to live action as play is about to resume following that stoppage. And it's SV Transvaal leading 2-0. A goal scored in the 26th minute by Giorgio Boy and added to by Alvaro Kaiserweird in the 69th. In this Group C, in the CFU Club Shield tournament, there seems to be a bit of a delay to the resumption as Baird remains afflicted. As a matter of fact, he's now off the field of play, and so play cannot resume without a Wolues goalkeeper in place. Referee Chebrian trots across to the touchline now for a discussion with his assistant referee here on the near side. Wolues a bit slow to ready a replacement goalkeeper, as it seems as though Baird's day is done. And referee Chebrian hurries them now as we get a glimpse at the Wolues bench, trying to hurry a replacement goalkeeper. And as a matter of fact, he's dressed in the regular kit. That's number 13. And Nicholas Messam. So he is, although he was dressed in the regular playing kit, he is listed as a goalkeeper. And so he's being called into action now to replace James Baird, who doesn't seem to be able to carry on for Wolues FC. Still some delay as Messam is trying to clarify what he's being told. And is it that he cannot enter just yet? Still play yet to resume. And now it seems as though he's changing back into the playing strip. So still not quite clear as to what is taking place as we try to sort out the position. Of the officials. And it seems as though we're being told he can't play in the goalkeeper's kit that he suited up in moments ago. And he's now placed a bib on. So the clock continues. Expect that this delay will lead to a lengthy stoppage time addition at the end of proceedings in the second half as the players try to keep themselves warm. They should have no problems doing so, actually, as you can see for yourself. It's unabated sunshine here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in East Trinidad, Malabar Arima to be exact, as we try to work out what's happening. So while we await clarification on the situation here, it seems as though Messam has changed back into the goalkeeping strip as James Baird hobbles around the track now. That injury, whatever it is, seems to be quite serious. And it's necessitated a substitution, which is taking quite some time, but James Baird just tries to avoid applying too much pressure on that left foot, it seems, as he is assisted back to the players' bench. Really unfortunate end to his first match here in the CFU Club Shield for Wolues FC. And Messam still has not suited up entirely. He is changed into his goalkeeping strip, but no goalkeeper's gloves are immediately visible. And confirmation just coming through that the original goalkeeper for this Wolues team was injured ahead of the tournament, which brought Baird into action. And so this is a rather unfortunate development here, that the second choice goalkeeper has now been injured. And so there seems to be finally the opportunity for that substitution to be made, and it's confirmed by the assistant or the fourth official. James Baird is out and in is Messam. And you will observe that he does not have goalkeeping gloves. So this is a first. Well, actually, he collects the gloves at the goal post, so it seems as though Baird would have left his pair. And now Messam pulls them on. And finally, after 10 minutes or so, we should be able to resume action here in this match. Immediately trying to take advantage of the introduction of the replacement goalkeeper, SV Transvaal have earned themselves a corner kick. It's going to be taken by one of their substitutes. And that's Jamiro Heckbert, a good-looking ball, and it's onto the head of Edward, who may have taken his eyes off of it momentarily and allowed it to strike him rather than attacking it, and so it's over bar for a goal kick. This is Messam's first bit of action, a goal kick. Turns possession over to Relum. Donovan Relum for SV Transvaal. This now is Boyanski to Lisa. Lisa is cutting inside but loses out. Booted away. So 5 minutes of regulation time remaining. 4.5 to be exact. And perhaps an even larger chunk in stoppage time for a couple of delays, but certainly for that latest one, which still led to the substitution of James Baird in goal for Wolues. Heckbert with a good ball, forcing defensive intervention. And another corner kick now to Transvaal. This is Kieserweerd trying to skip through. And Sebastian Santos now tries to bring it away, but he loses out to good work from Kamzi. And the shot comes in from Edward. Charge down. Still alive. This is Heckbert. And it's a corner kick again for SV Transvaal. So they are under siege now, Wolues FC. And they'll try to maintain just a 2-goal deficit. Here's Kamsi. Kamsi still going, and he goes down. He's asking for a penalty, but goal kick is the outcome. So we await the indication of how much stoppage time will be allotted. In the meantime, play resumes and continues here with SV Transvaal on the ball. This is Edward, who's taken over the captain's armband from Apai, looking for Lisa. Gets this one in. Messam flaps at it, and it's back with Hegbert. Hegbert trying to catch Messam out of position. Toy, in the meantime, is bringing a case for a foul on the initial cross to referee Chebriand, but his protests fall on deaf ears as Messam will now resume play. This is a poor goal kick. It's ricocheting off his own defender, and yes, he can hold it. It was not a back pass. Certainly not an intentional one. Messam launches this one up now toward Biziario. Sebastian Santos. Maxwell is frustrated as the pass never arrived. And this now is Lisa. Again going on an expedition along this right-hand side. Runs into trouble, but Enrico recovers. This is Boyansky with a nice turn, but he's losing out before retrieving. And that's a wild challenge. He left quite a bit on Boyansky. That seemed to be for Wolues, Ty Thomas. He escapes any further sanction from referee Chebriand. And so, it's another free kick now for Transvaal. This is artist Enrico over it. Enrico into the arms of Messam. Toy went down again and again is inquiring whether he might have had a penalty, but the referee Chebriand is unbothered. Eight minutes of stoppage time to be added at the end of the 90. As Lisa goes on another one of his purposeful runs and yet again unable to deliver. Liziario, Maxwell giving chase, but it's now with Transvaal again, and keys are weird. Inward to Enrico. He's asking Lisa to chase after it. Lisa just blows past his man. Well defended, but it's still in play. This is Alejandro Santos. Boyansky back doing defensive work. Boyansky, this is a good ball in, just evades keys are weird, and this is Hegbert, low and driven cross, eventually cleared away by Wolues. Wolues will make a substitution now. Leaving the field is Calm Edwards. The player coming in is number 17, Alejandro Trujillo. As referee Chebriant seems to deliver a message of some sort to his fourth official. That's a foul throw. It's been a while since I've seen one of those. Possession now with Wolues. They'll have the throw in instead. Launch towards Maxwell. Gets past him, and this is Elizario. Boy is in attendance. Tries to blow past the Transvaal defender, but just runs out of space to work with. And so it's a goal kick now for Transvaal, and they get going. This is Edward driving them over the halfway mark. Sprays this one out toward Keezaward, who just can't make the one-time pass. Given away by Enrico. This is Trujillo. Boy slips. Maxwell is on his way. This could be a chance for Wolues, and Maxwell just ran out of steam and unable to put enough oomph behind it sufficient to trouble Santos. If I'm not mistaken, that could be the first save he's had to make in this match. And it comes in second half stoppage time. Here comes Transvaal again. Keezaward looking for a second. Trujillo. This is Enrico now. Uses the option of Heckbert on this near side. Heckbert skips past his man. Just can't keep it in though. And it's a goal kick to Wolues before Transvaal makes yet another substitution. Artist Enrico is the player leaving the field, and entering play is number 27 rather, Class Donahue. So not much left in this match. Transvaal will be happy with 3 points, but definitely may be thinking that they've missed an opportunity to advance their goal difference against this Wolues team. But to their credit, Wolues, they have defended diligently, as they did again that time. This is Maxwell playing it backward, and they are springing a potential attack. Maxwell is on his bike. Trujillo is playing a decent ball, but boy just has that much more legs in him than Maxwell did, and intercepts the intended pass. And here comes Transvaal again. Boyanski is in, and that's a hack coming in. He had to time it, and he did so to perfection. Ty Thomas conceding a corner kick. This is Lisa. Lisa with support, and a good dummy. Heckbert will try to curl this one in, and does. My oh my, what a goal to put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. The dummy by the incoming Class Donahue just freed up the space for Heckbert, and he makes no mistake to make this 3-0 now to SV Transvaal, leading over Wolues FC. And surely this could be all she wrote in this first Group C encounter in the 2025 CFU Club Shield. Transvaal will try to launch one more attack. This is Relum. He's playing this one to goal scorer Heckbert. Heckbert, who's trying to find Lalani Toy. They recover it, Transvaal, and this is Kamzi. Kamzi to Keezaward. Keezaward will try to shift it along to Donahue. But it's well defended by Wolues. And they are launching a counter-attack of their own, but Lisa is there. He's done a lot of forward running. That time asked to chase back and does so to good effect to ensure that the clean sheet is not threatened. Here comes Kamsi driving. He has Relam in support. Continues his run, Kamsi. 4 across the area, including Toy on the cutback. And this is Lalani Toy charged down by Kieran Edwards. They play it short. Relam clips this one in, and it could be a 4th, but it's just over the head of, was it Kieserweird arriving? Yes, it was. Just a bit too high for him. And the opportunity for a 4th goes a begging. That's the final whistle in this one. Group C encounter between Suriname's SV Transvaal and from the British Virgin Islands, Wolues FC. Full-time score, Transvaal 3, Wolues 0. So, scenes from the Larry Gomes Stadium here in this one just ended, where SV Transvaal came away with a 3-0 win. They started early in the first half with that encounter, with that effort rather, by Lalani Toy, just wide of the mark, and then this time Finidi Misijan trying to get in behind the Wolues defense before the intervention of the defender. Relam had a shy from cutting in from the left, but that was also wide of the mark. Wolues with the long throw-in directly into the arms of Paulo Santos. Transvaal continued to come forward. Lisa was an ever-willing runner on this right-hand side from the fullback position. That time his cross was cleared away. Then the first sighting for Giorgio Boy, the left-footed central defender, who had a crack from distance that went over bar, but no such outcome this time in the 26th minute, curling a free kick in and over the head of James Baird in goal for Wolues to bring the first goal of the match. Transvaal continued to threaten. Boy with another opportunity, got it over Baird that time, but not past Kieran Johnston, who made the goal line headed clearance. Second half action now. Finidi Misijan with the first opportunity for Transvaal. And then Sana with this cross in onto the head of Toy. Unable to trouble Baird further in goal. Transvaal with pretty much the lion's share of possession. So Boy with another crack from distance that sailed over bar. And then one of their substitutes, Kieserweird, with an enterprising run but unable to beat James Baird on his first post. He had better luck this time around though, Kieserweird, as we see him drifting in on that far post. The cross coming in from Lisa, missed by Misijan, but Kieserweird on spot to tap home. Goal number 2 for Transvaal. Boy tried to duplicate his earlier goal, but that time denied by the crossbar. And then this header from Edward over bar. They continued to come forward in numbers, Transvaal, asking the Wolues defense to remain switched on, that time getting a corner kick. And then with the first chance of the game and their first shot on target, Noel Maxwell unable to beat Santos in goal for Transvaal. And that led immediately to that, the third goal and the deciding item in this matchup that saw another substitute, Alvaro, or rather number 11, Jamiro Heckbert, onto the score sheets for Transvaal to seal A 3-0 final result in this Group C encounter here at the Larry Gomes Stadium, CFU Club Shield action. So just before we wrap proceedings in this Group C encounter between SV Transvaal and Wolues, we are here with the SV Transvaal captain, Dimitri Apai. Dimitri, your initial reactions to the performance and the outcome?
Well, it wasn't bad, but personally I find we should have scored more goals. But we will take the 3 points and the 3 goals for now. We have to make sure the next game we score more goals so we can top the group to go through.
If this comes down to goal difference, would you look back at this game as a missed opportunity to bump up your goal difference?
For sure. We will be very disappointed, but that's why we have to take this game as an example so we can't make the same mistake again in the second game.
All right, so your path is clear moving forward, but let's just touch back on this game and tell me, what might have frustrated you the most leading to that lack of goals that you would have wanted?
Well, you can see like the goalkeeper went down and we only get 8 minutes of additional time, and I find we should have get more, but referee is a human being so he can make mistakes as well, so we forgive him for that.
You played 7 years in Trinidad. How does it feel to be back?
Well, very good. I see a lot of friends. I haven't seen them for years, so positive. This is a second home for me.
All right, thank you very much. That's the SV Transvaal captain, Dimitri Apai, who would have represented previously W Connection here in Trinidad before returning to his homeland of Suriname. That kind of brings the end to proceedings here in match number 1. Remember, the CFU Club Shield is being brought to you by the host association, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, and of course the internet connection at all 3 venues being used for this tournament is being powered by Flow. Next up, look out for the CFU Under 14 Challenge Girls Series, and that's taking place from August 25th to the 24th. Stick around, we'll have action in match number 2 for today. Coming up next.